Welcome to the Global Real Estate and Entrepreneurship Podcast. This is Nicole Forrester, broker with eXp, financial planner, here today, and I'm really excited and pleased to have this Canadian sweetheart, eXp's Canadian sweetheart, Jenny Celly, realtor, mother, and extraordinaire from New Brunswick, here with us today. Welcome, Jenny Celly.
Thank you, Nicole. Super honored to be here. Super honored to be chatting with you. So thank you.
Appreciate you, Jenny. You know, we met 2 years ago at a global conference, eXpCon in Vegas, which just talks to the power of our global real estate company. We're 90,000 agents strong globally now. We've been able to connect and refer clients and agents that we have in common. I'm in the Greater Toronto area. You're in New Brunswick. You have such a great relocation story. Can you talk to us a little bit about your journey into real estate?
Absolutely. So starting with the relocation, I too lived in Ontario. I actually grew up in Toronto. Last place we lived in was Burlington. And we were just looking for less commute, more family time. We heard about New Brunswick. We came to see it in January, went back to Burlington, put our house for sale, and we were here June 2018. And I started working here. So I've had all kinds of jobs. I actually graduated in radio and television broadcasting, nothing to do with real estate, nothing to do with a lot of jobs that I have done throughout my life. Yeah, once I was here, I would say this was end of 2020. I was at a job as a project manager, which I was not enjoying. Great company, great people, but I was not enjoying the job itself. I had always thought about real estate, but never wanted to venture out because I was always too afraid of the commission-based work. For me, it was just like, I want to know exactly how much I'm getting paid every single week or 2 weeks. I was always afraid of that part. Lo and behold, now I think back, I should have done it sooner. But yeah, that's what kind of made me venture out. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to retire where I am. I'm going to give myself the opportunity. I had a very supportive husband who said, yeah, go ahead, do it. And I quit my full-time job, which was crazy because obviously there's still bills to pay, children to feed. But I got in there with the mentality that I had no choice but to succeed because there was people relying on me, my children.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like hungry mouths to feed to inspire you to work real estate like a full-time job, which is what it actually requires. Absolutely. Now, you are not just a thriving agent, you are a three-time icon agent. So for people outside of the eXp world, that is a massive top producer in the real estate world. So you have knocked it out of the ballpark, Jenny Celly. And can you talk to us a little bit about some of the game changers in your business that really took you and escalated you to being this amazing top producer?
Oh, thank you. No, absolutely. Before I got my license, I came into contact and I found through YouTube Mike Sherrard, right? Mike Sherrard's energy is just explosive, very motivating. And I started watching his videos even before I took my license, where he would always say, you know what? Yes, you can be a top producer. Yes, you can be successful even on your first year. And I literally surrounded myself with that positivity, listening to, again, podcasts from like Grant Cardone, who's always like, go, 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 go get it. So I think it's crucial to surround yourself with those types of people. And that's how I began my real estate career, always with that mentality of like, yes, you can do this, right? It doesn't matter if you're new, because when I would talk to local realtors before I got my license, they were all like, oh, you're going to be in debt your first 6 months to a year. You're going to not make any money. And that was scary. I'm like, well, I have to make money. But then again, on the opposite side, the importance of surrounding yourself with go-getters, with positive people that push you forward. Again, somebody crucial in my real estate career has been Mike Sherrard. And, you know, the blueprint that he gives realtors is what has worked for me. You know what I mean? It's given to you. You just have to make sure you implement it. That part is the hard part because, again, implementing, being consistent, agent just always being there is not easy because life happens, right? There's many things that pull you all different directions, but you have to focus.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike Sherrard, our #1 Canadian leader at EXP, the Wolfpack, and then his organization within the Wolfpack is 2,400 agents strong across the globe. The Wolfpack in general is 3,400 agents globally. So, the Wolfpack also is that technology sweetheart within the technology global giant of EXP. And I really feel like it's a great liberator for agents. Glenn Sanford was an agent himself, and it's, agent owned and agent grown. All of the policies and the structure of it really supports top producers getting an incentive for passing on their knowledge. And everyone around you prospering from that production knowledge, like in a very altruistic way. So it just makes sense. And it's a really great collaborative community sort of to be part of. So I feel like we're in a special time, Jenny Celly, with this organization and with this group that we're with.
We definitely are. So I didn't start off with EXP. So for me, I see the difference between being at a brick and mortar, a franchise company, and then moving over to EXP, where we're not a franchise company, where we want to see other agents grow, because if they grow, so does our company. We are all owners at EXP, and that's the beauty of it, right? And I think that's why the collaboration is also so strong. We are motivated to see EXP grow, so we want to help each other out. So coming to EXP, like I said, I was getting help and tips and all these things from people that really were helping me, and they had nothing to gain out of it. And I do the exact same thing. Whatever agent comes up to me and is asking me for help, I am happy to do it. Again, first of all, nothing is original. We could be doing the exact same thing, but the way I portray it or the way I give out the message and you give out the message, we're going to attract different people. And that's what I tell everyone, right? I'll tell you exactly what it is that I do and what I have done to grow my business. I'll, give you step by step there. It's nothing original about it. It's who you attract and your audience and your clients, right? So I do love EXP for that. We collaborate with each other. Here we are, you know what I mean? Sitting down, 2 agents, right? Different provinces, but I love it. We want to see each other succeed.
100%. And we are, I think, we're very like-minded individuals. We're both professional women in this great global real estate game. But we're also, our #1 calling is motherhood. And I have 2 daughters, and I know you have a daughter and a son who are very active in sports and school aged. So you're running a team, you have a very active top producing business, you're a global speaker, and you first and foremost are a mother and a partner. So talk to us a little bit about, the myth of balancing all of that and how it is that you sort of keep all those balls in the air.
Well, we were talking about this not long ago. I honestly think there is no such thing as balance, and there isn't. You are always going to be pushing one toward one more, like one side, but it always doesn't have to be. So for example, this week, my house is up for sale. My kids are getting ready to go to school, right? So I've been pushing a lot toward the family life, what's happening with us. My clients are still getting taken care of because I also have, a team, and I also have an assistant, but you can never be 100% to where you want to be. For example, when I'm at work and I've been all day at work working with clients, even though I love it, I feel guilty because I haven't seen my kids, because I missed their game, or because I missed their practice, or because I couldn't pick them up and, had to make other arrangements. So finding that balance, in my opinion, does not come. I just feel like, there's going to be times where you're going to be more focused on your family and your children and not so much your career. It doesn't mean you're letting go of your career, but I honestly don't think, Nicole, that there's that perfect balance. I tell a lot of agents that I think it's a myth. I don't think it's true. And if you do find how to get that perfect balance, please let me know. because I'm still struggling to get it, right?
You're doing an amazing job. But I think, sort of what you were talking about, mindset, I think mindset is huge. And it's not, Connor Steinbrook talks a lot about that, and he's part of our upline. Mindset doesn't just work for dealing with difficult clients. Mindset works for dealing with grief and dealing with, like you said, that motherhood guilt that we feel where we're constantly not putting 100%, and we're being pulled in a lot of different directions. So part of this mindset work that we do at the Wolfpack has to do with, not going down a negative spiral. That's just not going to serve us. The bottom line is that's never going to serve us. And then, of course, valuing ourselves, which is huge. Women are always sacrificing themselves and feeling bad at the same time. Yeah. So, I have found that for me in particular, as a mother and a professional, that the mindset work has really helped me to value myself more so that I attract even a better client to me, because we can't expect someone to value us if we don't value ourselves, right? And I think this is not the dialogue that is taught to us traditionally as women, like in any culture, pretty much. So it's amazing to me that professionally, I feel like I've gotten that boost where, like traditionally, I don't think women are encouraged to value themselves.
I agree. And exactly what you said, as women, especially, I come from a Hispanic Latin American background where obviously the mother role is always very nurturing, always there, the homemaker, there when the husband gets home. And I mean, obviously things have changed and perceptions have changed, but you almost feel guilty again, right? But at the same time, exactly what you said, that mindset of, okay, hold on. So maybe I'm not there, when my children get home every single day from school, but guess what? I am being a role model for them, for my daughter, showing her that even now in this world, women are powerful. We can get ahead. We can have a family, and we could be professionals, have a career, and have something to give, right? So I always try to focus on that, because again, for me, the guilt is tremendous. I'm not going to lie, right? But at the same time, I feel like I'm teaching my children about, okay, if I can leave something behind, it's that legacy of, okay, you know what? My mom was able to also show us how to get ahead in life, that whatever it was that you wanted, that you can get it, right? But yeah, our world is changing. Our kids are changing. Women's roles are changing. And what better way than to create that positive impact for our kids, especially for our daughters?
Absolutely. And what we don't realize as mothers, I believe, and I've come to realize actually just in the last couple of years, is that, we teach them what to value by who we are and what we and how we operate. So, and that's by what we accept and what we do not accept. And, something that sort of occurred to me, and like I said, because I do not feel that we were from a generation or, previously it was not being taught to women to value themselves in and of themselves. They were always judged and measured based on their role in the family and how well the whole unit is going. And yes, it's important to contribute to the unit, but I do not believe that a woman's value should be sacrificed for the unit, which is not a popular belief traditionally, right? But the mindset hack that I used to work around that, and every mother is going to get this when I say this, is that, take yourself out of whatever role you're in and put your daughter in it. And knowing what you know about whatever it is you're doing professionally, personally, if that was your daughter, what would you say? Was that acceptable? What happened to her? Was that acceptable, the way she's treating herself, or her group is treating her, or her client is treating her? Or because as a mother, we love these children far more than we love ourselves. This is one of the amazing things about being a mother, is you learn to love someone more than yourself, but you also value that person probably a lot more than you value yourself. So to actually sub in your own daughter into different positions that you're in and go, okay, is this acceptable for, you know, my daughter? And then sometimes you'd be like, that's where you really check yourself.
Yeah,
And be like, no, I would not accept this for my daughter.
absolutely.
And that's, you know, so that's my hack to all my professional women and my sisters in life, is that put your daughter in your position, whatever that is. And if it's acceptable for your daughter in your mind, then that's your green light. And if it is not, then you go about making those boundary changes to make it right, because you're worth it. And we need to value ourselves so our daughters will value themselves, because in the end, if we don't, they won't.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love hearing that because it's true. Put yourself in the position. What would you want your daughter to do? And not only that, but they are watching the way we act, because we can give them a whole speech, but really they're just following the example. We could be like, you're a go-getter, you're this, and you got to do this. And then if we do nothing, they're like, well, you're not doing it. Right. So leading by example, because they are watching. Those little people are definitely watching us. And I find that more of the words, it's the example that we're giving them that's going to teach them and shape them. And absolutely, I love how you said that. Put yourself, what would you do? You want an answer as to what you're doing if you feel you're getting treated right. If your daughter was in your shoes, what would you say?
Yeah.
Right, I love.
And I'll never forget a lawyer. I consulted a lawyer one time on something that was happening at a big organization that I was talking to, and I was really getting treated poorly. And I remember consulting with him prior to a big meeting because I was a little nervous about it, and I was young in the industry. And I remember him saying, walk out, girl, walk out. And I was just like, because I said, well, what if they make me sign? And he's like, make you sign? Make you sign, walk out, girl, walk out. And so those words come back to me every once in a while when I think of, would I accept this for my daughter? And every once in a while, it's a walk out, girl, walk out. Like, I would not accept this for my daughter, so I shouldn't be accepting it for myself, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it takes courage, right? It takes courage. But I think that once you do it that first time, you're like, I got this.
Well, you know what? It's also great to have a framework. And I think that this is something that the Wolfpack really sets up for us. Louis Galt is amazing at this, systems. So, you know, not just systems for your business, but systems to manage your life. And I do find that the group is very holistic that way, because Louis will talk a lot about managing your schedule and managing your time and your priorities and things of that nature. So I just find that, you know, that holistic perspective really works for women, because for so long, corporate Canada and America and North America, you know, we've had to sort of ignore our families and the other people that we're supporting in our lives, our parents, our, whatever it is, that running the household, taking care of dogs and animals and all this other stuff. And you almost feel guilty, like you've got to hide the sack on your back that you're, trying to manage at the same time that you're trying to show up for your job. Yeah. So speaking of that, I was like, as an amazing role model, you were recently the MC for our national conference in Toronto, which was so exciting and a wonderful opportunity. And now we have coming up another amazing global speaking opportunity. You're going to be a speaker at the Atlas Alliance, this a major real estate event that Mike Sherrard and Louis Galter are championing and putting on with, Ed Milet, which is so exciting. Talk to us a little more about what you're going to be speaking at, about, and how you feel about this amazing opportunity.
Oh, completely honored at the opportunity. The chance to share a little bit of my story again. And it's just, as a mom trying to build a successful business and trying to resonate, but also, you know, reach out to other women in this industry, to other moms in this industry about, you know what, yeah, there's guilt, but there's what we're doing is something powerful that our children also need and will appreciate. So super excited to be in such an incredible event. It's going to be September 6th and 7th in Nashville, and exactly what you said, wonderful speakers are going to be speaking about the real estate industry, how it has changed in Canada and in the United States. So I am super, like I said, honored to even be there, but never mind to be a part of it as well, and excited to learn. I feel that we have so much to learn. We never stop learning, and just surrounding ourselves with people like these that, you know, that are successful, that have been changing lives. It's truly a fuel that we need. That's why I love going to all these conferences, the networking and the energy that you come back with, where, you know, you want to just do 1,000 things and you want to grow. We always need that, right? So it's always amazing to be able to attend these events.
Oh, absolutely. And we're absolutely cheering you on. You're our Canadian girl in there at a global level, just producing and really representing. So not just for your daughter, but for all of us professionals and women out there, I just want you to know we're 100% behind you, and we're excited about this honor for you. And I know recently you were highlighted on CTV in New Brunswick, which is super exciting. And you were talking about, you know, sort of the fall market and going into 2025. Can you talk to us a little bit about what's going on in your local markets? I know that you're in Sackville and you're specializing in Moncton in New Brunswick. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I live in Sackville, but I mainly work in the Greater Moncton area. Why? Because most of the people that are moving here are purchasing properties in Greater Moncton, which would be Moncton, Dieppe, Riverview. The reason why most of the market is going there, or why most of the market is moving there, is because that's where we have our transit system. So people want to be close to the bus, right? When you're coming to Sackville, you need a car. We're half an hour away from Moncton. So that's why as soon as you start to go into the city, that's where it starts to move. What I have noticed is at first, or even 2 years ago, I would say most of our buyers were from Ontario. It's starting to shift a little bit. We still have the Ontario buyers, out of province buyers, but we're also getting something that's really neat, which is new Canadians are starting to tap into the market as well, which is beautiful to see. Absolutely. So New Brunswick, a couple of years ago, opened its doors to professional immigrants, and now they have been here long enough where they have been able to, you know, save for a down payment, qualify. So we're getting a lot of new immigrants purchasing their first homes in New Brunswick. We're getting a lot of first-time home buyers as well, those younger couples. A big one moving for us is semi-detached homes. Right now, our average home is at $350,000, which is nothing in comparison to a place like Ontario, obviously Toronto, but it has definitely increased from, you know, 6 years ago that I moved, where you could find homes for 80,000. So it's been a huge change for everybody. So yeah, so right now, most of our buyers are, like I said, or at least for me, a lot of the majority of my buyers are those new Canadians, first-time home buyers. We're still getting the out of province, not as much anymore. And as everything right now, it's starting to calm down. It's August. This is where I find both buyers and sellers just want to enjoy the summer, want to prepare for back to school. But usually we tend to pick up again around September, all the way up to, I would say, mid-November. And we get that little fall rush with interest rates that have obviously dropped a bit. And I think we're expecting another one, you know, this coming September. I think that's also, you know, pushing a lot of those buyers that at first were more scared, more, you know, cautious. It's actually now, you know, giving them that incentive to say, okay, things are starting to settle. Let's go out and see if we can purchase our first home. So it's neat. We've been stable here in New Brunswick. That's the nice thing about it. And it has to do with the fact that our prices are still some of the lowest in the country when it comes to real estate. So a lot of people are taking that opportunity to invest in New Brunswick and to make New Brunswick their home.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys are an amazing price point. You have the growth, which is what you want to see for an investment, whether it's your personal property or you're looking to invest outside of your province. They've got some great landlord-tenant laws. I know we've discussed that in the past. That's more friendly to the landlord than in Ontario. But you have like a great culture there as well for the kids and great community. It's ethnically diverse, you know, which is fantastic. And you're seeing more immigration there, which is exciting as well. So, you know, New Brunswick is absolutely something that people should consider, whether you're looking at moving, making a change from, you know, Toronto to something that's a little slower paced or more manageable for your kids, but still has growth opportunities. That's absolutely something that Jenny Celly can help you with, having gone through that herself, making the big move from Toronto to New Brunswick. So Jenny, where can people reach out to you?
Absolutely. So I am active in social media. So you can definitely send me a message via Instagram, which is Jenny Celly Realtor. You can send me a text message, phone number at my phone number, or you can send me an email. But yeah, happy to even talk to people that are just curious, right? They're just like, okay, what made you decide to move? How has it been? It's been 6 years. Do you want to come back? All those things. Happy to help anybody out. It doesn't mean that you have to move here, that you're going to be buying a house, but just curiosity. When I moved, I wish I would have had somebody that did the same move as me, and I would have been bombarding them with questions. So happy to help out whoever is looking to perhaps move to New Brunswick or invest in New Brunswick. I invest in New Brunswick and I help people invest in New Brunswick. And definitely there's a lot of pros to investing in this growing province, as you said.
Right. And one of the amazing things about this global organization and even investing across Canada is someone like Jenny Celly. I can put you in her hands and she'll help you set up, you know, an investment property remotely. Maybe you live in Toronto or in Ontario and you want to take advantage of the price point there and the favorable landlord tenant laws. Jenny Celly can absolutely help you put boots on the ground for maintenance people and sort of help you go through those bumps of managing an investment property remotely. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to include all of Jenny Celly's information and all of the release from the podcast, but feel free to reach out to me for a warm connect to Jenny Celly and her team if you're thinking anything New Brunswick.
Thanks so much, Nicole.
Best of luck speaking in Nashville at Atlas Alliance with Mike Sherrard, Louis Galt, and Ed Milet. Looking forward to hearing how that goes and cheering you on. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank you. Honored to be here speaking with you. Thanks so much, Nicole.